polarity is the magnetizing factor that I talked about. We are attracted to the opposite energy. Our sexual attraction tends to have its roots in these opposite expressions, masculine to feminine, feminine to masculine, coming together like magnets. But what's happened in our society is that we've told masculine beings, often men, but not always, we've told masculine beings, don't be so masculine. That's too much. That's too much. We've also told feminine beings, don't be so feminine. But what also has happened in our world is that there's a lot of judgment of the feminine in all of us. Emotionality gets immense judgment when it shows up in a man or a masculine being. It gets a lot of judgment when it shows up in a feminine being. And so our world, our society, our corporations, I'm going to use the word idolize masculinity. It is the energy of our businesses, and so many women that I work with feel like they have to be masculine in the world. They have to show up, make it happen, get shit done, take it all on, and they're exhausted, like I was. And what happens is I could say there's double whammies in this, but there's probably triple and quadruple, many, many impacts of this, is that because we idolize the masculine on some level, more feminine beings have thought they had to go masculine. Masculine beings have been told to downplay their masculine, don't be that guy. So while the masculine is toning it down and the feminine is trying to turn up her masculine, we've now basically neutered our sexual polarity. We have neutralized the difference between us in such a way that it's like, it's not that exciting. It's not that interesting. What our hormones do in the beginning keeps our sexual energy alive for a while. But then because of that neutralization, because we're not honoring our authentic energies, our sexual attraction, the passion, is faded at best in many relationships. So that's the core part of how it impacts our passion, our sexuality. But the other piece that plays out is when emasculation that I mentioned before shows up, and when the feminine doesn't feel safe. And most feminine women, I'll say women in this case, feel physically safe with their partners, but they don't necessarily feel safe in the sense of their partners got them physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, now and in the future. And that's something that there's an entire model around what I just said. But to be able to relax on every level of the feminine being is what allows her to access her pleasure, what allows her to let go into orgasm. And so if we're not tending to, if we're not maintaining these authentic masculine and feminine expressions within us and the polarity between us, it will zap, it will fade, we will end up in that roommate zone. So masculine and feminine dynamics, I said, they often correlate to the ends of the gender spectrum, but not always. It doesn't matter who we're attracted to. It doesn't matter what our gender is, what our orientation is. Every single person has masculine energy and feminine energy within them. The yin and the yang symbols, or symbol, that we know from ancient Taoist and traditional Chinese medicine. The yin is the feminine energy, the yang is the masculine energy. Those energies are not biological genders, period, end of story. So what we see in those that come into this work, when they start onto this path of soul love, regardless of orientation, attraction, gender, it's the invitation is to discover how those masculine and feminine energies exist within each individual. What I see in many of the same-sex couples that I've had a chance to work with, or even the individuals that are still looking for a partner, they will offer so much gratitude that there's finally permission to be who they are. I remember she was female gendered, but she came to one of our retreats and she said, "Oh my God, I finally have permission to claim this masculine energy and how I want to hold that in relationship." Another gay couple where they discovered that in certain parts of their relationship, they had masculine and feminine dynamics in one form, one being holding feminine and one being holding masculine. But when they went to other parts of their relationship, it actually reversed. And so what's beautiful is that we get to know ourselves, we get to know our partners, and therefore we can more consciously navigate the greatness, to create the greatness in the attraction and the passion and the love between us. And when things go off, and this is really important, when things aren't working, to be able to understand why they're not working. And so when we're talking, whether it's cisgendered heterosexual or LGBTQIA and all the expressions, it is that we can recognize when the dynamic is off and begin to address it because we understand it. And we can hear our partner and what they need and be able to, again, lovingly, by choice, contribute to our partner in that way. So this conversation applies to every single human being. And that's a gift to ourselves, and it's a gift to our partners to begin to understand that and honor that.